And we're live. Thanks for watching Numbskull News. We're doing it live. Damn it. It's been a while since I did any kind of live anything. Not a lot of excuses. Work's been a bit of a bear somewhat. But I'm here, still alive, still making money. Money on YouTube? You got to have to have a hell of a lot more subscribers than that. And I have to get on here and clickbait you half to death like Monty, then maybe I'd make some money at that at that point. That's not really my thing. Don't really do that. I mean, a little clickbait here and there never hurt nobody, but I'm not trying to make a living out of it. But usually when I do these live streams, I start off with something that does not particularly pertain to college football. I might talk a little bit about a Marvel movie or something like that, some other kind of sport, possibly. So that's what I'm going to do. Is Mr. McMahon back? That's been the big rumor. If any of you guys are pro wrestling fans, that's been the rumor that he's going to come back. Not to the WWE, mind you. He's going to start something brand new. And he's been talking to Fox. And Fox is interested since they lost the rights to WWE. Ooh, but we can get Mr. McMahon to start something new. I kind of like that rumor. I kind of like it. Because did he cheat on his wife? Did he pay off some women that he slept with? Yes. The things that's been alleged, these horrible, like what the F kind of allegations that have been levied against him. Well, all charges have been dropped. Now he's still being sued because you don't have to have the kind of evidence, that's necessary to land you in jail. You don't have to have that to actually jack someone's money. All right. See O.J. Simpson. All right. Found innocent, but then he was sued and had to shell out millions of dollars to the Goldman family. A little side note on the Goldman family. I don't mean to disparage anyone's loved one who they lost in a horrific way, like the Goldman family lost their kid there, along with OJ's wife. But there was always the narrative that he went to Nicole's house to bring back her sunglasses from the grocery store. Yeah, I don't believe that shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know this is like an upscale neighborhood. It's probably an upscale grocery store, that services upscale clientele. I get all that. Maybe you get a little extra service there because they're going to charge you out the ass or whatever. Okay. I don't believe he went to her house with sunglasses. Oh, I think he'd been there before. That's what I'm thinking. I have no way of proving that. It just looks bad. And if he was there, not for the sunglasses, but for other reasons, maybe you shouldn't mess with a lady that was. I'm not sure if they were actually divorced at that time. I think they were estranged at that time. Yeah, don't get involved in that because you just might get your head cut off. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anyone has a right to remove your head. I'm just saying what could happen. I always had that question about that guy. But anyway, back to Mr. McMahon. Here's a little speculation. Is this really a startup? Because I wonder, because when he left, remember he left, right? He had to leave voluntarily, step down, whatever. And then he sold his stock for billions of dollars. So he's loaded. And I'm sure a guy like this, a straight up wrestling mental case, is what Mr. McMahon is. He's a mental case. Did he leave the WWE? Maybe it was something in his back pocket. Yeah. He didn't take any footage. There's a big extensive library that WWE has as far as the wrestling territories and everything else. But I'm just wondering if he left with something that he can use later. Because if you're going to start up a new wrestling company, it sure would help to have a name that people recognize to get you started. What if that name is WCW? Keep in mind, WWE has those rights. I think Vince spent a couple $1 million to get the rights to the WCW and everything underneath it. But what happened? Who's to say he just didn't pocket that little bit of intellectual property? Just take that with him on the way out. Probably didn't, but it would be interesting. What a coup if he's to start a quote unquote new wrestling venture under the name WCW. Holy shit, that would blow the doors off of some stuff. That's all I'm saying. Foodie Memphis, hey, I'm glad you're here, buddy. And we're not going to just stop with the wrestling talk. We're going to keep going. Apparently, there are 3 finalists, according to Ross Dillinger, 3 finalists for private equity for the Big 12. The top one, and I'm going to go ahead and Google this crap real quick. Redbird Capital Partners. Apparently, they are the favorites. I should have Googled them before the live stream. I should have Googled them before then. Him. They were founded in 2014. Oh, way back in good old 2014, right when Mr. Ford was engineering the first vehicle. It's a strategic investor in each of its core ecosystems: sports, media, and entertainment, and financial services. They manage $10 billion in assets for a global group of blue chip institutional and family office investors. I don't know what the hell that means. Our approach integrates private equity investment professionals with seasoned operators to create enduring value for our partners. Now, this is coming from Redbird Capital Investments internet page. We invest across all stages of the company life cycle, as well as the capital stack, making us a flexible solutions provider for ecosystems and capital partners. And they've done a lot of investing in sports. Redbird Sports practice is rooted in our 25 plus years of investing experience and operational mindset focused on business building and a global network of leagues, commissioners, athletes, teams, and owners. Apparently, they're involved with AC Milan. All right, well, that's about the most I'm going to get into right now and bore the hell out of y'all with it. So, needless to say, Redbird Capital seems to be a pretty big damn deal, is all I'm saying. Wasn't this conference supposed to be worthless? Just a truck stop, not even a Love's, like a TA. the one with the shitty hot dogs. That's what we're supposed to be, right? And yet, these people are wanting to invest billions. You heard that correct. Billions. last summer, CBC essentially gave the Big 12 a $5 billion evaluation on its media rights. Keep in mind, currently we make half of that money. Meaning, at that time, CBC figured that, hey, we can likely double the media rights in the Big 12. Double it. So right now, the 31.7, that's an average. They're saying essentially average around 60 in the next media rights deal. And if that's correct, and if we do partner with private equity and they help us get to that, they help us negotiate and get that, because that's my big thing as far as getting involved with private equity. I want them to help us negotiate because these people are killers, absolute killers. Redbird Capital, a lot of sports, a lot of entertainment. They know all the ins and outs of that shit. From what I've read, from what I looked up, sounds like a good partner to me. And if we have that partner, you bet your ass these teams in the Big 12 will get paid. Are there some holdouts? Of course. Of course. And to the holdouts, I say, shut up and get on board. Stop dreaming of the Big Two. That ship has sailed. There's a reason you're in the Big 12. Every team here, there's a reason you're here. There's a reason TCU is here. I live in Fort Worth, hometown team. There's a reason TCU is here. There's a reason Oklahoma State is here. There's a reason Utah and Arizona State is here. Colorado. Anyone else? Anyone else? Kansas State. There's a reason you're here. It's because everybody declined. The Big Ten had every option for Kansas or whoever else they wanted after Texas and OU left. With the whole Pac-12, yeah, they took Oregon, they took Washington. They didn't want Colorado, they didn't want Utah, they didn't want Arizona or Arizona State. Did they? Essentially, if you're in the Big 12, you're here because you're out of options. So Brett Yormark is pushing private equity, private capital like a son of a bitch. And you need to get on board. You need to get on board. On a conference level, get on board. Don't be a tool. Don't be an idiot. This will make revenue sharing way easier to start with. And there's been some silly rumors. Oh, there's already like 4 teams that are going to opt out. 4 teams in the Big 12 that are going to opt out of revenue sharing. Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that. John Dry, what is up, man? Looks like there's actually might be a chance to poach some ACC schools, including FSU and Clemson. I've heard that too, Mr. Dry. It's weird. It's weird because I don't know how I feel about that. If there's ever use some private equity, bringing in Florida State, Clemson, maybe even Miami. I don't know. I don't know. At least not right now. Because what are they requiring out of the ACC right now? Unequal revenue sharing. And that shit ain't going to fly in the Big 12. I can tell you that right now. The original 8 schools that were here before, they've had enough of that shit. Texas, Longhorn Network, OU, whatever Sooner Network they had. Oh, yeah. There was no Big 12 network. No. But you had a Texas network and you had an OU network. Unequal revenue sharing, it was already here. It was here for a long time. That's why Nebraska tore their ass. That's why they left. That's why Colorado left the first time. All right, this is why A&M left. This is why they hate Texas. Oh, we're not good enough to just have a Big 12 network. You got to have all of it to yourself. Well, F you, we're going to the SEC. That's what happened. Sorry, not private equity, but unequal revenue sharing will not happen in the Big 12. Mark my words, it's not going to happen. I like the idea of Florida State, Clemson, and Miami coming to the Big 12. I just don't see it. Because if they can get out, trust me, all of a sudden, the SEC is going to get really interested. If Florida State is on the open market, if Clemson's on the open market, the SEC is going to get real. All of a sudden, we have no interest in anything. We have no interest in Florida State. We know. Yeah. Remember Greg Sankey talking about realignment. What did he say? Keep quiet. We'll move swiftly. We'll move nimbly. Essentially, you're not going to see him coming. As soon as they're available, they're just going to snatch him up. That's what will happen. ESPN will snatch him up because they don't want to lose him to Fox. This is not difficult shit. Not difficult shit to think of or to imagine. Now, if we even had a shot at Florida State and Clemson, and we didn't have to do unequal revenue sharing to bring them in, I don't know. I like the Big 12 as constituted. Like, personally, for me, I would much rather have Louisville. Call me nuts, but I think I would rather have Louisville. Miami, I think, is okay, but Florida State and Clemson, it's like, man, I don't know about blue bloods on that level again in my league. I like everyone kind of being close to equal. There's no one that's so far ahead of anybody or so far below anybody. I kind of like that. It feels good. Feels good. Think about where we are going into next year. If you're a Baylor fan, you got to be feeling pretty damn jacked up for next year. I'm a TCU fan. I'm feeling pretty damn good with Mr. Hoover and company. I think we got a shot here. All right. If you're an Iowa State fan, I don't give a damn what odds Vegas gives you. You got to feel pretty damn good. Old Rocco's back. Your coach is on fire. The whole team's doing well. If you're an Arizona State fan, you're like, hey, repeat, bitch. Let's go. You got one of the youngest quarterbacks and one of the youngest head coaches. What a combo. If you're a Utah fan, you got to feel that, hey, man, we're going to get this young running quarterback and we're going to get back in this thing. We got a head coach that's done it before. You got to feel pretty good about it. If you're Colorado, oh, my God, you lost Shedeur and blah, blah, blah. You got a 5-star quarterback coming in there. I mean, still, all the transfer portal crap as well. And speaking of transfer portal, if you're a Texas Tech fan, you got to be pretty jacked up, man. You got your own rich oil guy that just came in there and threw a ton of money down and said, buy me an offensive line, buy me a championship. It just might happen when you pair that with one of the top recruiting classes in the Big 12 or a couple of recruiting classes in the Big 12. All right, Mr. McGuire, time to step up, right? If you're a BYU fan, you got to be feeling pretty damn good. West Virginia fans are jacked up all to hell for Rich Rod coming back in there. UCF fans these are two teams that are probably going to be in the middle of the pack or under, right? They're going to be scratching and clawing. I don't know if they get to a bowl game. But those fan bases are jacked, man. They're ready to go. They're ready to rock and roll. Start the season today. That's where they're at. But dude, This thing ain't top heavy. This is a deep ass conference, and anyone can come out of nowhere. Look, dude, if I'm a Cincinnati fan, I mean, you were just a testicle hair from making getting to a bowl game like 5-7. I think they lost their last 5 games. They had 5 cracks at getting to the 6th win and couldn't get it. I'd feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good if I'm Cincinnati that, hey, I think we can make this happen. Carlin Jenkins, that uneven revenue sharing will keep them out. Even if they become available, I think all of a sudden, here come Greg Sankey, just prowling around the corner, the Gargamel looking bastard. No, he ain't gonna let them go. They ain't gonna let them go. And look, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying it because I don't know. I kind of like the idea of not have all of us being pretty damn equal. I like that. All right, Florida State and Clemson, they got some advantages that these other teams in the Big 12 don't have. That's all I'm saying. They got some recruiting advantages. They probably have some deep money pocket advantages. Not totally. All right, there's a few other schools in here that can hang with them. But, man, I mean, it would be fun. I'm not going to lie. It'd be fun. And no disrespect to Florida State or Clemson. Terrence Baca, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. If FSUing, I guess Clemson, can't find a landing spot, do you think they might consider founding a new conference from scratch? No. Because look, if they get out, that's because they won a court case or they did a settlement and paid money to get out. Why are you going to pay money to get out just to start something new? And with who? Who are you going to start it with? The rest of the ACC teams, there's a few of them that may be able to pay their way out and join you, but I don't believe most of them can. I don't believe most of them either they don't want to or they just straight up can't. And the reason I don't believe that, because look what happened to the Pac-12. What did the market tell us? That there wasn't going to be room for a 5th power conference. That's why that thing got ripped apart. ESPN was not going to pay the Pac-12 what they paid the Big 12. Not after that. They just threw up a jump ball. Hey, who wants this contract? It's the last one we're giving out. And they thought about it. Brett Yormark jumped on it. So what does that tell you? There's not room for another power conference. And for right now, until 2036, the ACC is going to get paid. Unless they fall under, the 15 schools, then that might screw them. But you got to have more than 2 schools because they've already backfilled. So what do you got to have? 4 or 5 schools leave, pay to get out? I don't know. I think Louisville would pay to get out. To go to the Big 12? Yeah, to go to the Big 12. I think they would. They know there's a big fat payday coming in the Big 12. Their revenues are going to double, and it's going to far surpass what you're making out of the ACC all the way to 2036. So, and by the way, these morons, every once in a while I get a couple of these dumbasses, commenting on my stuff. There's like this little rumor that, your contract will be up in 2031. Then the ACC can poach you. They can poach you. Look at the revenue streams and look at the projected revenue streams of both conferences by the time you get to 2031. There's not going to be a lot of daylight in between what the ACC makes and what the Big 12 makes. Right now, there's not a big difference as it is. But that's going to shrink as time goes on. Why? Because cable companies and satellite companies are losing their ass on subscribers. A ton of them. This is where the ACC network makes its money. Carriage fees. And as more people are cutting the cord, guess what? That's money you lose every time. And as that accelerates, as we keep going on here, the ACC network's money dwindles and dwindles and dwindles. In other words, you're not going to poach Big 12 teams. Why would a Big 12 team? Remember the Pac 12. Nobody was leaving the Pac 12 for an extra million or two a year. Hell, they weren't going to leave for an extra $5 million. That's the separation right now. It's about $5 million a year per team. And that dwindles down. So by the time you get to the end of the Big 12 contract, it's pretty damn close to the same money. So why would any school want to jump to the ACC whose money is dwindling, whose top teams are going to leave? You understand all these teams already went through this shit? They've already went through it. Whether you're in the Pac or you're one of the original Big 12. You've all went through this crap. The Big 12 damn near died. The Pac-12 did die. Why would you go to a conference that's facing the same thing, but it's been pushed out even further? That's not an advantage. It's a disadvantage. And if these private equity firms are correct and we're going to be essentially doubling our media rights money, why would you leave? You don't. Carla Jenkins, Louisville, Cincy, West Virginia pod would be great football. Would be. Got to throw another one in there, too. Got to throw another one in. Let you know. About Georgia Tech. They're on the upswing, aren't they? Oh, yeah. I would not mind adding Georgia Tech. Undervalued. Mr. Monkey. Hey, what's up, dude? Appreciate you being here, sir. John Dry. I think we'll probably get Louisville, Virginia Tech, NC State, and either Georgia Tech or Miami. I'm kind of coming around to Georgia Tech. And I'll tell you something else. I'm kind of coming around to Syracuse. I kind of like them a little more than I like Pitt. Everyone keeps talking Pitt. I mean, if we get Pitt, cool. Welcome. No disrespect that I don't know. Kind of like Georgia Tech a little better. Atlanta. There's a ring to it. I like Syracuse. I kind of like Syracuse. A sleeper in the ACC next year. Syracuse. A little bit of a sleeper. You heard it here first. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to win the conference. I'm saying they're going to be in the running to get to the conference championship game in the ACC. Syracuse, look out for them. Foodie Memphis, Big Trouble in Little China. That's right. I watched that last night for the first time, and then you use it twice today as your video. Hey, great minds think alike, and a great movie. It's not John Carpenter's best work. Top 3, yeah. Because that was a John Carpenter movie. And by the way, John Carpenter's a huge asshole. So I'm not a huge fan, but I do like some of the movies he's done. A lot of people will put Halloween, the original Halloween, that was John Carpenter, and that's a lot of people say that's his number 1. Or they'll say, no, Escape from LA, or sorry, no, Escape from New York. Escape from LA is an abortion. It's horrible. All right, so don't even bother with that. That's one of the worst sequels ever done. No. John Carpenter's best movie was Christine. If you haven't seen it, based off a Stephen King novel, Killer Car, badass movie. Insanely great movie. But I think right behind that, uh, Christine, Halloween, Big Trouble in Little China. And then you can get to like, his remake of The Thing, which is pretty legendary, pretty good. Oh, no. Number 5 would be They Live. I think that's what it's called. They Live with Roddy Piper. I came here to chew bubble gum and kick some ass. Almost out of bubble gum. Big 12 will be making more than the ACC by 2032, especially with the new TV contract. But even if they were just scaling from where they were, yeah. And it may not take that long. Just saying. Take that farce academy elitism from ACC and merge with the Big 12, or in 5 years, it will be just the Big 10 and SEC. Stop the snobbiness, ACC. Yeah, there's some people kind of like the Pac-12. Oh, we would never. Yeah, we heard that about Arizona State. We would never, ever come to the Big 12. Holy shit. Utah, whatever. We ain't coming to the Big 12. Holy shit. So look, everyone thinks it's going to be UNC. And I know I keep harping on I'm not obsessed with UNC. I think that's fool's gold. They don't have the viewership numbers. In a streaming future where ESPN is straight to consumer, what do you want? You want the most eyeballs. You want subscriptions. It's not even about being in North Carolina. And if they're tied to NC State, like everyone seems to think they are, I mean, they don't even control their own fate. They got to go with hat in hand with the Board of Governors. Can we go somewhere else? Oh. When they got to do that shit, they're kind of screwed. And maybe I'm completely wrong on that. But if you ask me, the most logical place for them is the Big 12 because they're a basketball brand. They're not a football brand. You're going to hire Bill Belichick. He's going to come in there and get you some ratings. You're going to be lucky if he gets through that contract alive. He's older than shit. What is he? He's almost the same age as Joe Pa, I think. Mr. Monkey says, got to step out for a bit. Well, hey, I appreciate you stepped in. Immaculate, what's up, man? Are you ready for the Big 12 to buy something? Hey, from what I'm hearing, there's some ACC schools for sale. Who's your team again, Immaculate? That would be the great Iowa Hawkeyes. I forgive him for being an Iowa fan going against Iowa State, Big 12 team, because they have the nickname Hawkeyes, and I grew up with MASH. So, all good. Iowa and locally, Arizona State. That's right. You did move out to the desert. A little better weather this time of year, I would think. Iowa's probably pretty nappy once you get to the winter months. Outlaw. Arizona State acting like they like that should have been left as out. The things the AD and the Arizona State said, I would have invited San Diego State. Was in the 70s today. I'm sure the desert was in the 70s. Immaculate. I mean, Iowa may have been in the 70s as well, but. And Outlaw, yeah. Arizona State did act the fool a little bit, but they're saying the proper things now. All of a sudden, Whoa, we just won a conference. I mean, when was the last time they won a conference? Been forever. All of a sudden, holy shit, we can win a conference? And certainly last but not least, dun, 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 the Super League. Oh, it's Monty in the Super League. More calories that you can feed. It's the Super League. Monty sucks. Monty sucks. What a dumb ass bastard. Monty. 135,000 subscribers. Is that what? Let me look. Let me get in my little internet machine here. I am believing that that's what the hell that is. Hold on. Okay, 136,000 subscribers. But get this. The Monty Show. Breaking news. Boy, he loves to break news. This is one of his newest videos. This came out an hour ago. Pac-12 versus Mountain West. Shocking details. Oh, no views in an hour? 4 I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe that's just a. I don't know. Oh, Mr. Clickbait, making shit up, fake sources, dumb bastard. Man, I got a lot of windows open. Wife always yells at me about that. Anyway, Monty Super League. I mean, I don't know. Here's a guy that's not really thinking, but and I don't have any sources. I just read and then I speculate about what I read about. I try not to talk out of my ass too much. But from what I gather from let's call it the Big Ten. Start there. What I gather from the Big Ten. This is a conference that's been around for well over a century. We're talking. Uh, huh. This was what this became a conference around the time of Teddy Roosevelt. We're not talking World War II Roosevelt. We're talking before World War One. It's been around a minute. They seem to really, really enjoy academics and research dollars. They like all that kind of stuff. I just don't know. I just don't know. Now, would they join up with the SEC theoretically? Could they hold their nose and do it for a big chunk of change? Probably. I mean, those don't act like the Big 12 is above, or sorry, the Big 10 would be above selling out or going after the dollar. Of course they would. Of course they would. Had Texas and OU called them, Texas being AAU, Oklahoma not being AAU, would they have taken Texas and Oklahoma? Yeah. Yeah. Like, you're going to promise you're going to go after that AAU? Of course. Would a sooner lie about education? Yeah, they would have taken him in a hot damn minute. In a hot damn minute, of course. But with the Big Ten, want to lose kind of when Ohio State and Michigan, Penn State, where they want to give up the control because you would have to now share control with a shit ton of other teams. Now I understand some of them are your peers, your Alabamas, Texas, Georgia, LSU, people like that. But when Monty says, "Oh, there'll be a pathway for the G5," how? How? That doesn't even make sense. It'll include some Big 12 and some ACC. Oh, like I said in the video I made about it, I mean, it's Project Rudy. I mean, he's just faking Project Rudy is all he's doing. He's trying to pawn it off as his shit. Look, this is Ross Dillinger. Ross Dillinger gained 150 pounds. Stupid bastard. I actually looked up a picture. There's a picture of him golfing. This guy's got more rolls than Jelly Roll, man. I'm like, I thought you were like, yeah, trying to get in shape or something. I mean, like, I'm aging. I'm getting, look, got my hair. I'm a little fat. But look at these shoulders, man. Look at these broad ass shoulders. I could just thump somebody. Still, ain't nobody scared of Monty. What are you gonna do? Roll over me? Good grief. Immaculate. Oh, we are doing that. Okay, let's laugh about your coach saying that maybe now Alabama can play on an even playing field. Hilarious. Oh, Outlaw. I should have Immaculate Numbskull on Outlaw Posse show one night soon. Woo! I'm always down to join you. But I'm not going to speak for Immaculate. But he's a little more of a gentleman. I don't know if he Oh, me, I'm an a-hole, just like you are, Outlaw, so it kind of works out. Alabama's AD said a bunch of stupid chat lately. I'm no homer. Can't rile me with that, my brother. Well, I think what Alabama needs to do is get busy out there looking for a new quarterback. I mean, there's the portal. I'm sure they recruited a top guy, but I'm thinking that's probably what. I don't think Homeboy's coming back. I don't know. Big Lubbock, what's up, Big Lubbock? Big Lubbock with big dollars, buying a whole damn championship team theoretically. See if you can get through the Big 12 next year, sir. Texas Tech and Baylor have played every year since 1955, but won't play in 2025. Well, sometimes that's the way it goes with 16-team leagues. They're probably going to get bigger. So, protected rivalries. Tech and Baylor, is that a real rivalry? A little bit. I don't know. I mean, Farmageddon isn't going to be Farmageddon every single year. And Farmageddon is probably a little bigger rivalry than that. I know they played for a long time, but I don't know. Texas and A&M played for forever until they didn't. I know shit changes and it kind of, oh, that sucks. Well, sometimes things have to change a little bit. Besides, TCU and Baylor, that's the cooker. Terrence Bacca, which Big 12 schools are going to kick ass and then the NIL era? Colorado's dangerous. They've been proving to be dangerous. I don't know how much NIL money they have. I wouldn't be shocked to see a lot of it come in. And mainly Coach Prime, he's got tentacles. He knows people that, it's not like based off of one or two millionaires, someone who sold some oil stock or an oil company for a couple billion. He's got like actual companies going to invest, I guess the kind of eyeballs that thing draws. So it's a little different level. I think it's probably a truer NIL than most schools as far as what they have there in Colorado. If that makes any sense. But Tech, yeah. I mean, until the rules hit, till your NIL horseshit rules hit, Tech's dangerous. Tech is dangerous. Well, a lot of these teams have money. People don't think about it, but a lot of these teams have some money. Texas Tech and Baylor in the Big 12 championship game. That is a very real possibility, Big Lubbock. And you know what? It's time for Joey McGuire to do something. No excuses this year, Patna. No excuses for Joey McGuire this year. He's recruited out the ass. He's got Daddy Warbucks now throwing in millions of dollars for the NIL. He's got one of the top freaking portal classes. No excuse. Put it together, Mr. McGuire. Put it together. Immaculate. If Numbskull is in, I'm in. As for me, being a gentleman, I'm no asshole, but I can speak for the language when needed. Well, damn it, I'd be in too, Immaculate. Not saying anyone is, but I can roll with the punches and throw a few myself. That is true. Alabama has a full quarterback room. Jalen Milroe, your favorite, will not be missed. His goofy ass. He was told to leave. Anyone know where Jalen Milroe's going? I can't imagine the NFL. I mean, did he enter the draft, or is he going to look for an NIL hookup somewhere else? Because the guy has talent. The guy, there's something there with the guy. I've seen him play. Oh, this is a giant dude. He's got a little Cam Newton about him, but Cam Newton's a nut job too. But he was able to put it together for a little while there in Auburn. You know, just hold it together just long enough. He did the same thing, kind of, you know, with the Panthers. We'll hold it together for a couple of years, handful of years, and he went, ah! I mean, that's Jalen Milroe probably, but can he hold it together for a little bit? Texas Tech has already won the Natty on paper. Well, so have the Dallas Cowboys. It was $4 billion. Yeah, that's what I read. He made a shit ton of money off that. And the last company he sold for $6 billion. That's true too. So he's got some dough. I always wonder whatever happened to Oklahoma State. Remember, you know, T. Boone Pickens used to give them shit tons of money. I know he died, you know, as older and dirt people usually do, regardless of the amount of money they have. I wonder where they get their money now. Is it like the T. Boone Pickens? I mean, did he leave them something, or a trust fund or something? I don't know. Kind of sucks, you know, because if T. Boone was alive, Oklahoma State would be flush in cash. And they may be. I don't know. But I kind of wonder about that. It's kind of like Oregon. You know, what happens when old Nike guy dies, you know? Are the kids all, you know, Oregon football, ducks? You know, is that the grandkids? Are they all about it too? Or does that support dry up? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Anyway, guys, I got to tear ass. I got to work tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for showing up. I'm always shocked when people show up. It never gets old for me. But Big 12 got a great future. Outlaw, y'all, you and Immaculate want to do something? Reach out. We're on X. You know, we'll hook it up. 3 a-holes going at it. The AAA podcast, 3 a-holes. Hey, good seeing you too, Immaculate. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace out. And it will not be forever before I go live again. Guaranteed. All right. Peace out. Bye. Get out of here. Leave.